Texas, our Texas, all hail the champion state. A year after North Texas's 4-year championship run came to an end, the Crystal football had found its way back to the Lone Star State as the TCU Horned Frogs defeated Texas A&M in an all-Texas BCS championship game. Long considered the greatest football pipeline in the country, it once again had the championship clout to back it up. While other schools were always trying to get a piece of that recruiting base, the conferences as a whole were hoping to add a school from the state to bolster their revenue. Luckily for them, there were 2 universities ready to announce their free agency. The SEC had fallen back to earth in recent years, thanks in no small part to the retirement of Nick Saban. Dissatisfied with seemingly carrying the conference in recent years, Texas A&M and North Texas both announced that they would be leaving the once great group, and would be willing to listen to all offers except for the Big 12, a conference that both had left previously and were uninterested in returning to. While the Big East tried to use North Texas's former American Conference membership as a way to recruit them, and the Sun Belt tried to make a pitch to both schools, the Pac-12 decided to follow through on their failed expansion plans from a decade earlier. In 2010, the then Pac-10 had attempted to add half of the Big 12 to their ranks, including Texas and Oklahoma. While those schools were not interested in leaving a now stacked Big 14, the Pac-12 was willing to offer large money to the free agent Texan schools, hoping their expansion east would lead to more revenue and, more importantly, higher standings in the polls. As the deals were finalized to bring in both Texas A&M and North Texas, the conference tried and failed to add 2 more top-end programs, and instead settled on poaching Fresno State and San Diego State from the Mountain West. With a fully realized Pac-16 finally a reality, the conference was hoping to dominate the way the SEC no longer did. The headlines from the Pacific didn't stop there, as soon after it was reported the conference had been lobbying for a second automatic bowl berth. Once it was announced that the request had been rejected, it wasn't long until the Sun Belt, once again finishing with 3 teams in the top 25, put in their own request. After 2 weeks of discussions, the BCS granted the conference an automatic berth to the Fiesta Bowl, a development that would be a huge bargaining chip in the future as the Sun Belt tried to add big-time programs. However, they would face a big setback, as 2 of their ranked schools would be leaving the conference. After schools had been slowly leaving, the ACC decided to try and add to their ranks, focusing on up-and-coming schools. Coastal Carolina, the defending Sun Belt champion, seemed like a logical fit. And a year after losing their lone Pennsylvania team, the ACC announced it was negotiating with the Sun Belt to acquire the Black Rock State Gorillas. While the $50 million exit fee was a sore spot, the commissioners for both conferences, along with lawyers for Jeremy Britton, managed to reach an agreement. Because Black Rock State played such a huge role in the Sun Belt getting a bowl bid, they would be allowed to leave for the ACC as long as they agreed to scheduling all of their non-conference games against Sun Belt opponents this year, and at least 1 game against the Sun Belt school for the next 2. With one major change happening in Black Rock, Coach Deshaun Gaddy called a press conference to announce one more seismic shift for next season. Despite steady play from quarterback Zachary Williams, Coach Gaddy announced that Joey Thomas, fresh off of his 11-touchdown performance against Buffalo, would be the starting quarterback for the Gorillas in the upcoming year. While benching Williams in the senior season went against his usual philosophy, Gaddy used the breakout of Tua Tagovailoa and his small sample size as a precedent for this decision, and he felt it was time to let the former 4-star prospect take the reins. While he was slightly discouraged, especially since the announcement came after he was able to declare for the draft, Williams did not feel the need to transfer, as he felt his draft stock would not benefit from playing elsewhere. With high hopes on campus, the team was prepared to make a push for not only a good season in its first year as a Power 5 member, but with an ultimate goal of a national championship. What's up, guys? I'm Shane, and welcome to the Year 3 offseason of our Black Rock State Gorillas Dynasty. Alrighty, so a little bit of turmoil here in the offseason, but nowhere near what we're used to at this point. Now, the biggest thing for us is Garrett DeFries has left. He is now the head coach at Iowa State, which means, yet again, we're going to have a new offensive coordinator. And it looks like Joey Thomas is taking over, and we're switching offenses to an air raid. Ironically enough, it's Troy's playbook who ended our conference championship hopes, but it didn't affect us in the long term, I guess. And as you can see, we got a lot of players graduating, we got no one transferring, and we got no one being selected in the draft, but as we do every year, let's say farewell to this graduating class. Now you'll notice that there were 2 players missing from that. Dex Wade is going to be taking over as our offensive coordinator. I mean, he was such a great gadget player for us. It's the best storyline I could come up with anyways. And I didn't have a spot for him on our coaching staff, but Kenny Beardman will now be the defensive coordinator for Ohio State. Because have you seen his pep talks in the comments section? He had to go somewhere. And now on top of that, we're going to do it a little differently now. And actually, this will be the last time we look at North Texas's graduating class. I'm not going to give them the whole outro like I have been doing at the end of the episode, because honestly, it takes a lot of work, and there's only a couple players here anyways. But this is it. This is pretty much everyone that I had recruited. Everyone else is sort of like people we don't care about, and even half these players you don't know about. The biggest ones here, Ryan Tannehill. He will be drafted, so thank God for that. McCoy, after slicing us up, he's going to the draft. But even Dixon, I mean, Brian Carter, good for you. He was a 5-star athlete, and I just threw him at free safety. I had nothing else for him, and he still went as a 6th-round pick. You know, otherwise, the only one that really hurts me down here is Wyatt Winterfeld, 99 overall tight end, but he's only 6'1", and I think you got to be taller than that to get drafted at tight end. So, unfortunately, bud, user submitted name, and you weren't drafted out of there. But otherwise, that's it. Like, I think there's JC Hipp still left on the roster, but otherwise, pretty much everyone that we remember from the North Texas Dynasty, and a lot of you don't even remember the North Texas Dynasty, you weren't here for it, so that's it. We're not going to be playing them next year because we have to play all Sun Belt teams in our non-conference games. The year after that, we will play them again, but I got a feeling it's not going to be the challenge. It's not going to mean as much playing them going forward. Maybe we'll play them in a bowl game or something. But otherwise, I think it's time to let North Texas go. I'm speaking to myself. I know you guys don't care. All right, no one wants to transfer in here. All right, last push before National Signing Day. I think it's pretty obvious. I think Jonathan Carter, I'm going to give him... We got 10,000 points. We're going to give him the most. I'm going to give him... Let's go 4,000. I don't think Buffalo's going to go. I think they might throw like 3,000 at him. I think if we go 4,000, we're good. We go 2,500 to Adam Pittman here. Boise State's not going to go after him. I'm just not sure how high up we need to get him in order to sign him. And then the more I thought about it, now I don't know if we're going to get Maurice Slaughter. I'm assuming Navy or Temple or both are going to go heavy on them with points. We're 1,300 points back. But Hawkins is a 75 overall, but that's, you know, he's an 82 speed, 83 excel. He's kind of trash. Slaughter does 99 excel. So I'd rather throw some points at Slaughter. We don't need a linebacker desperately. So if I'm going to add another one to the roster, I'd rather make it someone who's going to count. So I think this is good. I think Slaughter 3,500, Carter 4,000. You know, actually, Pittman, I think we can go 2,000. We're not going to face competition. I'm just trying to get into the green, and I think we'll be okay. So let me offer him 2,000. And throw the rest of those points. So we'll go 4,000 Slaughter, 4,000 Carter, and 2,000 for Pittman. And honestly, again, these are all bonuses. If we don't get any of them, that's cool. If we get all 3, great. I love the challenge of looking at that bottom ticker to see if I can catch anything. I saw Black Rock State on there twice. Let's see if I'm right. No, 3 times. Okay, Navy did go after the linebacker. We got the right tackle, we got the halfback, and we got another outside linebacker who I wasn't even looking for. A D-tackle, a wide receiver, another halfback. We got a bunch of stuff at the bottom of the board that I didn't even commit points to these guys. So Slaughter, yeah, Navy must have gone hard. But that's okay. Still had a top class in the conference, the top 25 class. I'm okay with that. We only missed out on Slaughter by 400 points. And Ohio didn't even go after Hawkins. I could have just thrown 100 points at him, but he was only getting, I think it was 82 speed, 83 excel, so he wasn't great. I'm just bummed now that Slaughter, we didn't get him. I'm wondering if we went, oh look, North Texas actually came out after Pittman. So I guess we went after him just enough with the 2,000, we couldn't have taken points away from him. Oh, and the tackle, we had that on lock. Buffalo didn't even go after him, so we could have taken points away from Carter and thrown him at Slaughter, and we would have gotten him, but, well. I'm not going to complain about this class. Alright, so we do finish off number 18. That's fine. That's still a good place to be. 21 total recruits this time. That means I'm going to have to make some cuts. Oh, crap. Not a single 5-star prospect, but that's alright. This is pretty stacked, and we got plenty of gems on here. I mean, again, Carter is a 2-star tackle, but he's a 71 overall. He's going to help us out a ton. Alright, again, yes, you guys are going to be able to name these players. It will be, just like last time, a pinned comment down below. But wait a couple of minutes and let me take care of the position changes and the cuts, and then we'll figure out where we are from there. Okay, so position changes. Quarterbacks, there were no changes. Halfbacks, no changes. We got Pittman here, and then Harris, probably the first guy going to get cut, honestly. 93 speed and 82 excel is garbage. No change at fullback. We got Harris, the incoming freshman. I was tempted to put Dilworth here, but we are going to an air raid, so again, I don't know if fullback is going to help. Wide receiver, again, not much going on. We didn't focus too much on the offense. We got Kyle Morris down here. Again, he might not even make the roster. Tight end the same. Offensive line, yeah, not really much going on. Newell down here is not a user-submitted name, so we can get rid of him. And then Jonathan Carter, I left him at right tackle because Chapman, he'll be gone in a year or two, and then we'll have Carter slide right in there. And we do need solid offensive line play, especially on that right side. Defensive line is where it gets scary. Now, I was tempted to redshirt Owen, hoping that he will be draft eligible, but I gotta see what his training results are this year. If not, then we're going to have Nobles on a red shirt, and next year he'll be our starter for sure. Chris Black is just some great depth here. Poor Lailo. Really want to use him, but I got a stacked defensive line class. The right side, I mean, it's just as good. We got Zach Alston here. He's a JUCO, so he'll get the start. Anthony Williams, again, he'll be ready, waiting in the wings. And we still got Charlie Wilkerson here. Like, we have so much depth now. I mean, Crooks came in here. Again, someone else who might not even make the roster because it's so stacked. Defensive tackle, we got Jenkins coming in. We got Phil Diagony coming off a red shirt. Jensen, I mean, I feel like maybe one of these guys should slide over to D-tackle. Yeah, let's see. Who will play good at D-tackle? I'm guessing, okay, Wilkerson goes up. I'm not sure how. That dude's smaller than, well, okay, he's not smaller than me. 6'5", 254. There we go. All right. Yeah, so we'll slide Black over here at D-tackle because he goes up a point. Phil Diagony, it depends on training results, but 80 speed at D-tackle. Ooh, Chris Black will be a threat. Left outside linebacker, I was saying it all along. We're going to put Beast over here, which is funny because he's eligible for the Deshaun Gaddy Award. You guys will see that in a little bit. Steve Carter Jr., he's not going to be starting this year, but he will be starting the season after because he will be better than Jackson. And then maybe Jackson takes over the reins, or maybe I find someone else. Again, Kavalos was great for us. He's playing middle, but I'm going to let Andrews start here. It's all getting shuffled at linebacker because I just wasn't 100% satisfied. And also, I'm trying to get some balance because who knows who's going to be coming in. And right outside linebacker, Trey Wilson, the freshman, he will be starting right away for us because 86 speed, 95 excel. It was so hard not to put this guy in at middle linebacker. Secondary's getting a nice overhaul. We get the 79 overall freshman and a couple 72s. So these guys all down here, they're going to be critical for us this year. But, you know, Jones and Martin are about to catch red shirts, and then that'll be quite the secondary next year. Free safety, we're stacked. Gilbert Cooper is still going to be starting for a while. Poor Andrew Thomas, he's going to be floating around there. And then Hood's going to catch a red shirt, and hopefully he doesn't transfer before it's his time to start over Cooper. And again, Gilbert was just a depth play. Strong safety, we got Butters. He's a senior because he was a JUCO. We got Harper right behind him. And again, Atkins and Welter. I'm sorry that you didn't get to see the field too much so far. Harper's going to catch a red shirt too, though. Kicker, we still got Jackson Chapman. And then punter, I put Scott Reed, who was a kicker that we signed. You know, He's probably not going to make much of an impact, but I've had punters make first team all-conference on like 5 punts in a year, so there's that going for him. But now the most important point. Let's see what the training results are so we can figure out who's eligible for the Deshaun Gaddy Award. Okay, the team's starting to get too good, so not great training results here up top. Williams does get that all-important +3, so he's a 96 overall. He's definitely going to be drafted. I'm just not sure if that's going to put him in first-round range or if he's going to fall to like the 3rd or 4th. But Joey Thomas up there, a 90 overall. Again, Williams has a 99 overall awareness. Thomas only has an 82, so that's kind of the big difference here. Chappelle gets a +6 up to an 85. I was almost thinking about cutting him, honestly. I don't want to. He made some good plays for us in spot duty in year 2, but I just thought there wouldn't be room on the roster, but we'll make it work. Butterbean getting a +5, and Jahi Andre is a +4. He's a 77. He goes up even more if I put him at halfback. Swim Taylor a +5 up to an 87, and Jamal Jackson getting a +5 to an 84. DJ Watson getting a +5 too. Speed goes up, acceleration +3. Those kick returns got even more scary. But look at Swim Taylor with a 93 speed and 97 excel and 91 agility. Wide receiver Malik Murray up to an 89 overall. Same with James Murphy coming off a red shirt. Oh man, I redshirted him hoping that he would be draftable, but that doesn't look like the case. However, he does have 94 speed and 99 excel, and that is incredible. And I'm not going to complain about that. RO3 up to an 87. He might catch a red shirt. I think this year he's going to catch a red shirt, and a year after it'll be Hagler. Like, we'll alternate it, because they're still in range to get drafted. But I don't think RO3 is going to get the training results this year to get draftable. But one more year, he should be good. Omer getting that +5, though. All the way up to an 87. Another one who might have to catch a red shirt next year. Hagler to the +4 to 81. Rose a +5 to an 81. Carpenter a +4 to a 74. And McDonald's a +5. Tight end Deasy a +4 up to an 87. Dilworth at an 81. Kendrick's a respectable +6 up to a 67. And Landgraf getting a +4 to a 65. Left tackle, they all get a +4. And that's awful. Left guard, though, Crash Williams is a +6. I don't remember if he's starting. I'm pretty sure he's the only left guard on the roster, though. Center Yelich gets a +6. Menace gets a +7. He might be starting somewhere on the line for us if he's a better overall. Harvey getting a +4 up to an 82. Chapman a +5 to a 76, so, you know, he'll be an 80 overall in his final year. LaMichael Owen getting a +4 to an 87. Yeah, I don't think it's worth redshirting him. I think with a defensive lineman, you got to get up to like a 96. I don't think the draft is happening, so I'm not even going to bother redshirting him. I'm just going to let him play it out. But Lailo getting a +5. Poor third stringer. Wilkerson getting a +4 up to a 77, and Confusa down here a +5. Again, this is deep. Confusa's what, like our 4th string defensive end? Phil to Agony getting a +5 to a 75, so actually would be starting. Crector with a great +6. And this guy's not a named player, but I keep thinking he is. He's not going to be on the roster, so don't worry about it. Left outside linebacker, Beast getting a +5, but nothing to his speed, really. Carter getting a +4, though. Andrus getting that +4. Look at that 88 speed, 86 excel. That's more my speed. Cavalos getting a +5, and Chloa getting a +4. Ooh, that's nice. Collier getting a +6 up to an 85. Minor a +5, Bauer a +5, Keller only a +4. Sino Rogers getting a +5, and poor Liam Clark down here only getting a +3. Free safety, Cooper with a +4, and Thomas with a +4. Butters also only getting a +4. They're getting ripped off here. 99 speed for him, though. Wow. And 94 excel, fastest safety in the game. Adkins a +5, Welter a +4. And, you know, Jackson Chapman just a +4, because, well, you know, we need an overpowered kicker. Kick power is maxed out at 99, kick accuracy at 92. I don't want him to, but if he declares this year and is going to be draftable, I'm just going to let him go. We got another kicker. That's why I got the punter. In case Chapman wants to get drafted, we need that. We need that recruiting bonus. Alrighty, so it's time to announce the nominees for the Deshaun Gaddy Award. Again, whatever player you guys choose out of these 4, they will get an instant +7. So whatever their bonus is, add up more until they get to a +7, and I'll pick the attributes as I see fit. So your 4 nominees are Mike the Beast East, As slow as he is, you can't deny how incredible he was for us. And if he gets a +7, it's all going to speed. I'm going to nominate Lucas Cavalos here because he did make some big plays for us at right outside linebacker. Won't be starting this year, but he could still use that bump. Gilbert Cooper was a solid playmaker for us all throughout the season. At one point, was easily the defensive player of the team, but other players started stepping up. And one of those players was Butters. And again, reminder, he was a JUCO, so he's already a senior this year. This is his only chance. Him and Beast. They're both seniors this year. The other two are sophomores. Either way, I believe those are the 4 nominees for the Sean Gaddy Award. So, down in the comment section, let me know who you think should win it. Alright, I gotta find 6 players to cut. Alright, that was actually not that bad. I cut the halfback and the wide receiver who surprisingly showed up on the board, and then there were 4 unnamed players I managed to get rid of. So now, the players that you guys will be able to submit names for, and again, check the pinned comment down in the comment section. Adam Pittman, 70 overall halfback. Matt Harris, the blocking fullback, who might not see the field much, just so you know. Jonathan Carter, the right tackle. Stuart Noble, the left end. Zach Alston, Anthony Williams, and Brandon Crooks at right end. Thomas Jenkins, Chris Black, and James Jensen at D-tackle. Craig Jackson at left outside linebacker. Trey Wilson at right outside linebacker. Derek Rice, Terry Jones, and Tony Martin at cornerback. William Hood and Luke Guillory at free safety. Drew Harper at strong safety. And Scott Reed, the punter. Oh, actually, I stand corrected on one thing. One of those players will be gone by the time you guys see this video. Shane, pop it up right here. Okay, I owed someone a player from last season, so he gets first dibs. All right, we're in the custom conference screen. First thing we got to do, Sunbelt gets their automatic bowl berth. Okay, now as far as what the conferences look like now with all the changes, the big one is here in the ACC where we're going. It finally irritated me. I put the North and South Carolina teams all in the Coastal. It just didn't make sense for North Carolina to be split between all of them. I mean, it's mostly North Carolina. Clemson's the only South Carolina school here. And then we're going to be over here with Georgia Tech, Florida State. So, I mean, if you look, I actually gave us the harder side of it because Virginia Tech was 5, Georgia Tech 4, Miami 9. And over here, App State was the only team that was already ranked before we came over here. So, you know, Florida State's probably going to be good. Syracuse might be a walkover. But realistically, I just got rid of Appalachian State and Clemson and NC State. Clemson might be good, the other two not so much, so I made it harder for us. Pac-12 I rearranged too. I actually sat here, spent way too much time looking at a map. So, Pac-12 North, well now they're the Pac-16. Colorado and Utah have been in the South, and I don't know why, because they are more far north than USC. Like, I don't understand why they were in the South. Why, just call it the East at that point. But Colorado, Oregon, Oregon State, Stanford, Utah, Washington State in the north, Arizona State, Fresno State, North Texas, San Diego State, Texas A&M, UCLA, and USC in the south. SEC, I actually kind of shuffled it around to how it was. Remember, at the end of the North Texas Dynasty, which is where a lot of these conference alignments came from, we had rearranged it to really give ourselves a challenge with North Texas. So I had Georgia over in the west, I had the Mississippi schools over in the east. So because of North Texas and Texas A&M leaving the west, we basically got it to where it used to be, minus Mizzou, who is over in the Big 14. And in the Sun Belt, I finally got South Alabama and Troy, the two Alabama schools in the same division. So that's the only big change there outside of us leaving. Georgia Southern, hey, good luck to you down there, but these recruiting classes weren't looking great for them. I feel like they're going to fall off a cliff. I'd rather take Coastal Carolina. All right, and I showed it briefly during the storyline, but here, let's just run through the schedule real quick. We're going to be at South Alabama to start, bye week, and then at Troy because they beat us last year, and I want my revenge. Home for a rivalry game against Georgia Southern, so all three of our non-conference games will be scheduled against the Sun Belt, as promised. Then we'll be at Appalachian State, home for Virginia Tech, home for North Carolina, at Florida State, home for Georgia Tech, at Syracuse, home for Miami, at Virginia, and then closing out the season, home for Coastal Carolina before a bye week, and then hopefully a conference championship game. And yeah, A+ strength of schedule. Have you seen who's in our division? Alright, as far as red shirts, it's going to be Pittman, obviously. I'm also going to redshirt RO3 and Rally Hagler. Depending on training results, Omer might catch a red shirt next year, too. We've got Def back here, it's fine. Might have to add another wide receiver after this year just because we are going to be losing a couple. I'm tempted to redshirt Dilworth, but I figure we're going to need him basically playing wide receiver for us this year. So he'll play one more year, then he might also catch a red shirt. Jonathan Carter at right tackle is going to catch a red shirt. Give one to Nobles. We'll give one to Williams and to Crooks. Jensen's going to get one, and I think Black is going to get one too. This defensive line, someone's going to transfer out of here. I just know it. Left outside linebacker, Jackson. Martin and Jones, both at cornerback, are going to catch him. Hood and Harper. I'm not going to bother redshirting Guillory. You know, he'll be fine. And we won't go too much into the recruiting board right now because I'm just going to go after offensive linemen mostly. Maybe a couple pieces here and there, but I'm going to focus on that and actually a couple linebackers. I thought we signed more than we did, and we actually just signed basically all defensive line. But that'll be it. We'll go more over that probably a couple weeks into the season, honestly. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please be sure to hit like down below. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell to get it delivered directly to your inbox every single time I upload. Any thoughts, suggestions, whatever you may have, leave all that down in the comment section below. Everything you leave down there, I will always respond to unless you are the trolliest of trolls. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Shane. I'm out.